So I'm getting a Steam coming soon page, soon, and it forced me to fix something that I've ignored for a really long time. Basically, here's what happened. So I went to Steam like, hey Steam, can I publish my game?
Sure, I'm just gonna need your legal name, date of birth, address, driver's license, social security number, height, weight, fingerprint, DNA sequence, and your favorite ice cream flavor, please.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, and are you a robot by any chance?
No.
Okay, congratulations. You can now publish a game on Steam. We just need you to fill out a few things about your game.
Wait, what's even a capsule art? So apparently when you publish a Steam page, it wants you to upload a capsule art, which is like a thumbnail for your game. The only thing I had that remotely resembled a capsule art is this. Yeah, I don't think I should use it. Luckily, there's a very common trick used by game devs to create compelling capsule arts. It's called hiring a professional artist. The problem with that is I'm broke. So I hired myself, and I'll happily accept subscribers as payment. Subscribe. Anyways, I did some research online, and it seems like the main purpose of a capsule art is capturing someone's attention. There are many ways to do it, like using strong color contrast, having a unique art style, or you can use neuron activation. The next step is looking for some inspiration. I have a game where you solve weird captchas inside a fake operating system, and I went on Steam to look for some similar games. My game's a little unique though, and honestly, there is no game like it. There is no game. Here's their capsule art, and they definitely captured the essence of the game, non-game. I also found some other ones I liked, and the main takeaway is that these people do not know how to peak. I started sketching out some ideas, and at first I wanted to make a collage of everything kind of similar to There Is No Game, but it's a little hard to tell exactly what's going on, especially when people are scrolling at like 60 miles per hour. So I decided to instead go for a simpler formula with just the game logo and one clear graphical element. To the surprise of no one, I picked a traffic light for the graphical element. I also added a camera to help with the composition, but it kinda started to look like a road management game, which is not what I'm making. So I added this square with a check mark to make it unmistakably about captchas. After that, I wrote down my game's title, CAPTCHA Hell, and placed it on top of the traffic light pole. Now some of you might be wondering, wasn't your game titled CAPTCHA Hell? I just wanted to buy concert tickets for my friend, but now I'm trapped and trying to prove that I'm a human. So basically, would you look at this stick for a second? Anyways, I put down some colors just to see how everything would turn out, and there's just something I don't like about the frontal view of the traffic light. So I sketched out a second angle where you're looking up at the traffic light instead. The downside is that I have to do a 2-point perspective drawing, which is significantly more annoying. I never properly studied perspective, but fortunately, there's one powerful trick called adjusting until it looks right.
A few moments later.
Eventually, I was able to finish the outline of the traffic light, so I moved on to coloring it. I started with a reddish background because red is like hell, but I eventually settled on a blue background. You might think this is a random shade of blue, but this is actually 1A73E8, the infamous blue that we all know too well. Plus, it contrasts really nicely with the red light. I then added a little bit of shading to make things look shaded, and that's it for the traffic light. I moved on to the game logo, which is where I struggled the most. My approach was to lean into the blue background and use a font that's CAPTCHA-like. I'm pretty sure reCAPTCHA uses a font called Roboto. It's actually a pretty standard font, but I'm looking for something with a more rounded C, so I ended up choosing this font called Source Sans 3, which is kind of similar to Roboto. I can then turn the C into this symbol, which is loosely associated with captchas. I also used the space inside the letter A to show the silhouette of a mouse cursor, since my game has a fake operating system and it's mostly point and click. I was pretty happy with how the word CAPTCHA turned out, so I moved on to Hell. I tried a lot of ideas, like the flame silhouette, the glitch effect, and even spelling out Hell on a grid, which in hindsight was a terrible idea. I also tried just using a simple font, but it kept reminding me of a certain drink for some reason. Well, at least it was a fitting label. At this point, I was completely stuck and out of ideas, but then it dawned on me. You don't see one of these much anymore, but we all remember the infamous text captcha, and I can just turn the word hell into one of these. With the logo concept fleshed out, I just had to create a vectorized version of it. The tricky part was finding a balance between keeping it readable while still making it look like a captcha. Eventually, I have something I'm happy with, and it's time to put everything together. It was kind of a lie when I said Steam wants a capsule art. It actually wants 4 different capsule arts, all with different aspect ratios. So I had to adjust the composition for each version. I did end up removing the camera from the horizontal layouts because it kept getting in the way of the logo, and honestly, nobody likes those anyways. I also added a slight shadow under the logo which makes it pop a little more, and after some final adjustments, here is the result. Now there's still something bothering me about the capsule art. I just couldn't quite put my finger on it, but it just felt slightly disconnected from the game itself. Since my game uses pixel graphics, I tried making a pixelated version of Hell instead, and I think it finally tied everything together. At this point, I figured it would be a good idea to see how it actually looks on Steam, so I shamelessly photoshopped my game onto the top 100 games page. I also tested the other capsule sizes in their respective spots, and honestly, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. And if you want to tell me what you think, I just opened my Discord server. Hello? Is anyone here? Come hang out with others if you want. I set up a bunch of channels for you guys, so hopefully there's something for everyone. If you're interested, the link is down in the description. I know this is a little different from my usual game dev stuff, but I've been busy getting the Steam page ready, and I definitely underestimated how much work there would be. I'll be back with another game dev video soon, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.